Okay, welcome to another video from Adopted to Pakistan. This video is on the Millennium Development Goal number 7, which is the ensuring of environmental sustainability. This goal, its main focus is to, according to the UN's website, integrate principles of sustainable development into country policies and programs and reverse the loss of environmental resources. Basically, keeping the environment healthy and keeping the natural resources stored up, ready to go, and ready to use. Another point to this goal is to reduce biodiversity loss, which means that they want to improve and protect ecosystems. They want to increase in sanitation of water and significant improvement of lives of the more of the poor people, the people that live in current poverty and slum dwellers. They want to increase their lifestyle. They want them to be healthy and the environment that they live in to also be healthy. So let's get into it then, huh? So some of Pakistan's greatest issues. Well, let's go ahead and start our tour then, huh? Okay, so here is Pakistan. Some of its greatest environmental issues are water pollution, raw sewage, industrial wastes, limited freshwater resources, the fact that a majority of the population does not have access to potable water, some deforestation, soil erosion, and desertification. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss some of their greatest issues with these. We're going to focus a lot on just a couple of them, and then we're going to discuss what's being done and how are they doing. So, well, this particular goal, they are doing a good job, like they're making progress, but they're still lagging. There's still quite a bit of issues in forest cover. There's a lot of sulfur content in high-speed diesel. There's a lot of pollution, both in the air and in the water, and access to sanitation is not as high as it should be. Probably the biggest issue right now that Pakistan is going through is pollution, air and water. So we're going to focus a ton on that. So far, little attention has been paid to pollution itself, like in the air. But more issues have been focused on sanitation and potable water. They've been focusing a lot on giving safe drinking water to the people of Pakistan, which is wonderful. This is needed. But pollution also needs to be taken care of. Well, we'll start off with a little bit of success. Greater success has been achieved in bringing potable water within the reach of the people. And about 1990, half of the population of Pakistan were able to enjoy this success and this access to potable drinking water. And by now, in 2015, most of the country now has access to this. Research at the Pakistan Medical Research Council, this picture here, they've realized that a large portion of diseases in Pakistan are caused by polluted water, which leads us into pollution, which we're going to talk about a lot. Which means they realized that most diseases come from this, so they decided to research more on what kind of a problem it was and how to fix it. But just to give kind of an example of where they were at in 1990, for example, 38% of the population that receives its water was through pipelines, and they ran the risk of consuming contaminated water, seriously contaminated. But the problems did vary by area. For example, in Punjab, let's go over to Punjab. Yes, there we are. There's Punjab. In Punjab, 90% of drinking water comes from the groundwater, comes from the pipelines. And then, in comparison, the city of Sindh, I don't really know how to pronounce that, so forgive me, only 9% comes from the groundwater. So it really does differ on areas. So a little more on pollution. Um, they the National Conservation Strategy Report, this is a report in Pakistan that they've done research to find out where the population is coming, or where the pollution is coming from. They documented that a lot of solid and liquid sewage is the major source of water pollution in the country, and it causes a large spread of diseases that come from water. So, kind of referring back to the previous goal of fighting disease, um, a lot of disease can be prevented by cleaning out the pollution in the water. Unfortunately, the urban residents, the people that live in the poorer cities, have to deal with lack of sanitation a lot more. Uh, let's see. Currently, right now, there are only three major sewage treatment plants that exist in the country. Two of them operate intermittently, and a lot of the untreated sewage goes into irrigation systems where the wastewater is reused and goes into streams and rivers, which becomes sewage carriers at low flow periods. This means that a lot of the sewage is getting into the irrigation and getting into the drinking water because it's not being caught by these disposal systems. Unfortunately, this means that a lot of vegetables that grow from this wastewater contain a lot of bacteria and contamination that can make the people very, very sick. In fact, one of the diseases it causes, that some of these contaminated vegetables can cause, is called gastroenteritis, which is a fancy name for diarrhea, but a very infectious diarrhea that is actually one of the leading causes of death in Pakistan. And it's transmitted, it's passed through pollutants in the water. So, just to give you another idea, in Karachi, we're going to spend a lot of time in Karachi here. In Karachi, the water is so contaminated that almost all residents have to boil their water before they use it because the sewage and water lines have been laid side by side in most parts of the city, that of course there's going to be leakage, and because of leakage, contamination. But Karachi's not the only one here. There's also been lead found in water in both Islamabad, the capital city of Pakistan. Lead has been found in their drinking water here, and in a city called Rawalpindi. Again, forgive me for these names, but Rawalpindi also has a lot of lead in their drinking water. The other side of pollution, air pollution, has also become a major problem. For example, there's no control of vehicle emissions. Cars are so easy to get now that they're constantly, well, they're causing air pollution to increase. In fact, it's 90% of the pollutants in the air come from cars. And a lot of these pollutants are carbon monoxide. In fact, the Conservation Strategy Report of Pakistan says that the vehicles in this country emit 25 times as much carbon dioxide, 20 times as much hydrocarbons, and more than 3.5 times as much nitrous oxide in grams per kilometer as the average vehicle in the United States. So to put in layman's terms, they're putting a lot of chemicals, a lot more chemicals and pollutions into the air than even the United States, and we're pretty bad ourselves. For example, carbon monoxide emission levels in, let's see, in Karachi, for example. Let's go back to Karachi. The carbon monoxide emission levels here are way above the recommended levels of the World Health Organization. They've got far more pollution in their air, carbon monoxide levels, than is recommended as safe. A couple other cities that are also experiencing this issue are Lahore, which is right over here, along with Islamabad, and a city called Peshawar, a city called Quetta. Here we go to Quetta or Quetta. Again, don't know how these are supposed to be pronounced. Faisalabad is another one. We're headed over to Faisalabad now. This is one of the buildings that are focused in Faisalabad. And Rawalpindi, which we've already been to, but let's go ahead and head back there again. So these cities, and you can notice a similarity between them all. They're big cities. There's a lot of people that live here. And with a lot of people that live there, it's dangerous for them with the increased levels of carbon monoxide and pollution. And the World Health Organization and WHO trying to help them solve that. So let's move on to some things that have been tried, or some things that are currently being done in Pakistan to solve solve these environmental issues. But again, we're going to focus a lot on pollution and a little bit in other areas as well. The Pakistan Environment Protection Council has done a lot of work in figuring out plans to help the environment, to provide protection funds and programs to help the environment. They're trying to protect, let's see, maintaining soils and croplands, increasing efficiency of irrigation. This is going to help with the water pollution problem. On a side note, they're also trying to protect wildlife in the northern part of Pakistan by preventing hunting in that area. Another thing that they're doing, well, the northern area is right here in this area. Just this general area of Pakistan here. This is where, to protect the animals, which are also part of the environment, and also it helps keep them out of the pollution as well. There's no hunting done in this area anymore. They're also trying to protect their forests. Deforestation is a problem. Deforestation means like the burning of trees and getting rid of a lot of our forests. But it's not as big an issue as pollution, so we're not going to go as far into that. Some interesting things that they are doing, which are very, very good, is in a couple universities, they are focusing on offering programs in environmental studies. So they're going to educate their people on what they have to do to help their country, which is excellent because the more they educate themselves in this matter, the more they can do as well as a people. Here's the first university that is working on those programs, University of Karachi. Here's another one, the Punjab University. And finally, the Quaid-e-Azam University, located in Islamabad. All right, so my time is about wrapped up here. Um, I just want to leave off with their current status, how they're doing right now, and what my thoughts are. The UN's website says this: with regards to the seventh goal, Pakistan has achieved the target of access to improve water resources, um, including tap water, hand pumps, and electric motor propelled water. Pakistan has also surpassed its target of converting 0.92 million vehicles of compressed natural gas with more than 2.8 million vehicles reported to be running on compressed natural gas. So they're having more vehicles that are running cleaner gas, which will prevent the air pollution. Pakistan is on track to meet the target of land protection for the conservation of wildlife and percentage of total land area, which is an indicator for MDG 7. So their progress is wonderful. They're making progress. The fight against pollution, they're doing a wonderful job. They are achieving their goals, and they will continue to succeed. I think their programs at these universities are going to be key because the rising generation is going to be innovative with brand new ideas, and it's going to change Pakistan's future forever. Pakistan, you're doing great. Keep up the good work, and we will help you as much as we can. We're all of the same planet after all. Thank you.